AI didn't break the 3D industry. We did, years before AI could even render a decent cube. And if you're a 3D artist, a student, a hobbyist, or someone thinking about jumping into this industry, what I'm about to say is going to upset some people. Probably a lot of people. Good. Let's get into it. Here's what we're doing today. I'm going to walk you through what I think are the 3 real reasons this industry feels like it's collapsing right now. And none of them are the thing everyone's already screaming about online. By the end of this video, you'll understand why AI is getting blamed for a fire it didn't start. And more importantly, what that actually means for you if you're trying to build a career or even just a hobby in 3D. But before I get into those 3 things, there's a number, a specific number I came across a few months ago. And when I saw it, I sat there for like 10 minutes just staring at my screen, because it basically explained everything that's been bugging me about this industry for years. I'll show you that number in a second. But first, a tiny bit of context, because on its own, the number means nothing. So, a friend of mine who works as a recruiter for a mid-sized studio posted a junior environment artist position. Entry level. Junior. The kind of role that's supposed to be the foot in the door job. Within 48 hours. That listing had over 1,000 applications. 1,000. For one junior role. And here's the thing. That's not even unusual anymore. That's basically normal now for entry-level 3D jobs. Think about that for a second. 1,000 people, all with portfolios, all with some level of skill, all competing for one job that probably pays barely enough to cover rent in most cities. That's the number that broke my brain a little. Not because the number itself is shocking, but because of why it's that high. And that's where this gets controversial. Because here's the question nobody wants to ask out loud. If 1,000 people can apply to one junior 3D job, where did all these people come from? And the answer to that question is reason number 1 on my list. And it's the one that's going to make some YouTubers genuinely mad at me. For the last several years, this platform, YouTube, has been absolutely flooded with videos that go something like, learn Blender in 30 days and get hired by a AAA studio. Or, I make 6 figures freelancing and you can too. And look, I get it. That's an exciting pitch. It's marketable. People click on it. I'm not even saying those creators are lying about their own results. But what nobody tells you is the math behind it. If a video like that gets 1 million views, and even just 1% of those people decide, okay, I'm doing this, that's 10,000 new people entering the exact same job market. For jobs that, realistically, don't grow at anywhere close to that rate. So the supply of artists exploded. The demand for jobs barely moved. That's not AI. That's not the economy. That's just math. Brutal, simple math that the industry and a lot of content creators, myself included if I'm honest, kind of avoided talking about because it's not a fun message. Okay, that's reason 1. And honestly, if this is the kind of stuff you want more of, the no-fluff, slightly uncomfortable truths about this industry, that's basically what this channel is becoming. So if you haven't already, now's a good time to hit subscribe because reason 2 gets even spicier. So now you've got this massive oversupply of artists, all desperate to get that first job, first client, first credit. And studios and clients figured that out. Maybe not on purpose at first, but they figured it out. Exposure became a currency. It'll look great on your portfolio became a currency. Unpaid test projects that mysteriously look exactly like real client work? Currency. And the wild part is, we defend this. As a community, you'll see someone post, hey, is this normal, about an unpaid 40-hour test task? And the replies are full of other artists going, yeah, that's just how it is, gotta pay your dues. That's not an industry standard. That's an industry that got used TO being able to extract free labor, because there's always another 1,000 applicants behind you who'll do it for free too. And once an industry normalizes free work at the bottom, it drags rates down at every level above it. Junior work gets done for free, so mid-level work gets squeezed, so senior artists are competing with studios who think why pay for senior when juniors will do it for exposure. It's not one villain. It's a system that we, all of us, myself included, kept feeding because saying no felt like career suicide when 1,000 other people would say yes. Here's the third one, and this is the one that ties everything together. With this flood of new artists all trying to break in, where are they learning? Courses, tutorials, schools, and a lot of that content, not all of it, but a lot, teaches you to make things that look amazing in a thumbnail. Beautiful single renders, stylized characters, cinematic lighting. But studios aren't hiring people to make pretty single images. They're hiring people who understand pipelines, topology that won't break in a game engine, naming conventions, UTMs, version control, working inside someone else's existing project without breaking it. So you end up with this bizarre situation where studios say we can't find talent, while 1,000 people apply to every job, because most of those 1,000 people were taught to make a portfolio piece, not to survive a production pipeline. The oversupply and the skills gap are happening at the same time. That's how broken this got. So now, let's bring AI back into this. AI tools didn't create any of these three problems. The oversupply was already there. The free work culture was already there. The skills gap was already there. What AI did is make all three of those cracks impossible to ignore. When a studio can generate a rough environment in minutes instead of paying for 10 artists' worth of exposure work, that exposes how undervalued that work already was. When 1,000 applicants apply for a junior role and AI tools can now do 70% of what that junior would have done, it just speeds up a collapse that, frankly, was already happening in slow motion. AI is an easy villain. It's a thing. You can point at a thing. It's a lot harder to point at the way our entire community has operated for the last decade and say, yeah, that's actually the problem. That's my controversial opinion. The 3D industry isn't broken because of AI. It's broken because we built a system that depends on an endless supply of people willing to work for free, taught by people selling the dream of easy money, feeding jobs that were already disappearing, and AI just turned the lights on in that room. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Okay, great, you just oppressed me for 10 minutes. Cool, thanks, fair. But I'm not done with this topic, because there's actually a flip side to all of this. There are things that genuinely differentiate the people who get hired from the 1,000 who don't. Specific learnable things. And I'm talking to working artists at actual studios right now to put together that next video properly, because I don't want to just throw out more generic advice. So that one's coming. And honestly, it might be the most useful video on this channel so far. If this video made you think, or made you a little mad, that's fine too. Drop your take in the comments. Genuinely curious where people land on this, because I know not everyone's going to agree with me, and that's kind of the point. And if you want to be there when that follow-up video drops, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because I'm not going to make you wait long for it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.